All right, good news, guys. We're actually at point 6 here. Selecting your spouse. It starts with, and I'm saying this from a heteronormative perspective, but please refine it to how it seems like it would work for you. For example, maybe you're a more masculine lesbian woman and you want to play that masculine role in a relationship. I think relationships do work better when there's one who like wants to be cared for and then one who wants to care for the other. There's sort of this masculine feminine dynamic that may be something to open to. These are all things that we should be thinking about, the possibilities, but you especially need to know who you are and find somebody who can complement that, how you want things to play out. And maybe there's variable dynamics. Maybe you trade off every month of one person being the authority, one person making the decisions, and then you switch off. But I'm thinking that often people have natural personalities and you have to find ways that those can complement. And that being considered, let's go into this. So let's say you're, like I'm saying, this is from the frame of a cis, gendered hetero male. So okay, so let's see, like me, for example. So let's say I notice women who I'm attracted to in public, or on social media, or a dating website, which dating is for married couples, so you could call it a spouse selection website. So that's the first step. You should really start to not just like look around and think, unconsciously, like, oh, that person seems attractive, but really look at them, really listen to them. If you happen to be in proximity to them, listen to how they sound, their kind of conversation, the clothing they wear. There should be cues. Everyone should offer cues as to who they are, like if they're religious, or maybe they're, for example, veganism is a core aspect of my life, so I find ways to advertise that. People, should be kind of showing their expression themselves in certain ways that are hints as to attract certain people. Because ultimately, for me, it would be great if everyone went vegan and lived longer, but we all have our choices to make. However, it makes more sense if somebody is, let's say they are not vegan, it would make sense for them to find somebody who likes the same food as they do. And it's just the same that I would find someone who likes what I like to eat. And so we need to express who we are on our social media. People need to know who we are, and the more you express that, the more you put up healthy boundaries and say, this is who I am. I don't want somebody who is different than this, even if just because I find them physically appealing. All right, so this is about being principled. This is about being the rich, powerful person you are. You're rich in self-respect. You're powerful in the knowledge, at least this knowledge I'm presenting to you should be empowering, and it's got great application value, I'd say. Starting with writing down your core values. You should always have at least 3 core values in your mind that that you are, and then you should know your turn-ons and you should know your turn-offs. That way, let's say, like for me, I don't like pets, so the instant I hear somebody talk about pets, I get turned off, even if they're attractive. So, it's just like how if somebody smokes, maybe you're a smoker, so you're interested in someone that's smoking. But often, you know, generally, if people are not smokers, they won't want a smoker. So, but knowing this and having this like at the back of your mind, like a turnoff might be that they're not, you know, of a certain physical health, whatever, that they don't make a certain economic, you know, their economic level. And by the way, women have to be cautious because there's this psychological thing where if women make a lot of money or the same money as their husband, or excuse me, if as a man, they have to be careful that it doesn't affect their judgment of thinking that, oh, they want a man who's like stronger and better than they are, or you know, taller or whatever. I mean, these are all things to consider, but I'm saying that what are your top priorities on your list? You know, you should have that sense. And, you know, maybe all my information does not apply to everyone. My ideas, my because there may be people who, you know, in this imperfect and challenging world, you know, an older guy might marry rich guy might marry a younger woman, and they can you know, have children, and the children will be well. And so that's kind of like a biological imperative of, you know, well, ultimately, you know, the children need security, and the woman needs to be, you know, should be healthier and younger for the sake of childbearing. So all things to consider, right? But, you know, when people are together, it should be for life. It shouldn't be like to achieve and like some financial security, or, well, let's, you know, try to have 2 children, raise them, and then see what happens. No, it should be like we want to be together for life. Otherwise, it's half-hearted. You know, and the more honest you are, you know, thinking this is, it's easy to get distracted by other people's relationships and bodies, and like how you think the person will, you know, how you think other people in society or your social circles will like the person. This is not about any of that. This is about you and them. Even if you were alone on a, you know, desert island, how would you be with each other? Would you just, you know, feel totally at peace around each other? Could you be yourselves? If one of them got hurt, one of you, would you maybe needed a wheelchair? Would you absolutely want to be with them and you know, support them? Okay, this is the level that we're you know, we're going at the most intense levels of life. You know, like if you found out in a pregnancy that the child had you know, significant mental or physical issues, then would you be okay with abortion? You know, these are all things that you have to agree on before it's too late to, you know, and you're already in situations that are, you're noticing inconsistencies, like would you allow your child to, you know, what age would they be allowed to use social media? I think it shouldn't be until, you know, who knows? I mean, at least you don't want, you know, children need to, and this is kind of embellishing upon the previous topic of protecting your children. Children need to know that there are people who just want young people sexually, so you need to protect them from that and remind them of that. Okay. Even if they may not think they're attractive or have low self-esteem, you need to emphasize that there are people who will target them because they just want a younger, healthier person. And youth is about skin. You want to, and I'll talk about skincare in soon. That's going to be coming up very soon. After selecting your spouse, we're gonna have wellness, and then we're gonna have transcending envy, and then we're gonna have beyond fear of death. So we got this is 9 topics in total. This is power packed with fun information. So good of you to stay. I mean, this is just fun information. I'm glad that you're. I shouldn't have to thank you for watching. You're here with me, and you're on. You're like aligned with me. It's like not about thank you. It's about here we are. We're. I mean, maybe there's ways you could find to thank me for my research. I mean, this is a concept. All this understandings it's a result of long research and a huge process, and it's all documented throughout my YouTube channel and TikTok. So, but let's get back into it. So we're talking about selecting a spouse, right? Okay, wow, was that, I mean, that seemed like a lot. Alright, so, you want to, okay, so the man should always be the conversation initiator, because he's ultimately, I'm going to make this a 2-part series, because this is just, it's a lot, right? So stay tuned for part 2 of selecting your spouse, where I actually get into the like step by step, like what you have to do.